Let's see, kind of getting up and moving. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, but this particular Rubicon 392 happens to have a really cool modification that I feel like transforms the Jeep. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the new owner, James, for giving me some time with his Wrangler. If you guys remember, I filmed a video on a Supra a few months ago that James also happened to own. He actually traded his Supra for this Wrangler, which I think is a great decision because although the Supra is cool, this is like a sports car combined with a crazy off-roader, so it's a ton of fun. But anyways, James works at the Chevy here in Provo, so if you happen to be looking for a brand new Chevy, he's not a salesperson, he's a finance manager, but still, just come in, buy a Chevy from them. He'll be more than happy to help you out. And yeah, that was like the worst intro ever, but we'll just go with it. So I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below, and let's just get into this review. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy with this powertrain, as someone who happens to own one of these, is going to be around 16 miles per gallon on average. Power output's 470 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque, and I mean, just look at it with the 392 and the carbon fiber, and then also you got the hydro guide there at the top. Now, before we go to the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you can first see that this is finished in rain, which is basically just purple. You've got the hydro guide, and then you guys can see the 392 badge, which is so cool. And then you got the Rubicon sticker here on the side as well. And then popping down below, you guys can see we've got the satin black grille with the LED daytime running lights and headlights. And then notice we actually have some aftermarket lights added on. This is something that James took from his last Wrangler and threw it onto this 392. And he also has a winch that he threw on as well, which looks so cool. And then you can see with the little turn signal lights here, got fog lights down below, and yes, we got the steel bumper group here. Notice you can actually take off little side knobs if you want a better approach. But putting it all together in purple, I hate to say it because you guys know I own a pink 392. This looks so cool, and I think it looks better than mine. Now, popping on the side here, we've got 37s wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and in the rear. Now, this is something that does not come stock with the 392. Now, this particular 392 does have the Xtreme Recon package, and so all you need to know is that you can put 37s on a 392 with the Xtreme Recon package without lifting the Wrangler. I mean, you guys can see we've got a decent amount of gap there between the tire and the fender flare. Something else to note is you do have the little fender flare extension here, and then you guys can see trail rated 4x4. You got the Jeep badge as well. We got rock rails from the factory, and then notice you got the body painted hard top, and then you can see with the mirrors and the door handles how those are just black. And then taking a look at the side profile here, it looks so cool because you've got like the small wheels and so much tire, which is what an off-roader is supposed to have. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start there, and then you guys can see the Jeep logo on the back, and got the little flip out key as well. Definitely a cool looking key fob. Now I'm interested to see how heavy this feels with the 37. Honestly, it's not that heavy to move. That's actually pretty impressive. And then you guys can see lifting up the window. There's basically just a bunch of storage space here in the back, so I just mostly wanted to see the tire thing. And yeah, like it's light. It's actually pretty dang light. We've got the LED taillights here in the back, and then you guys can see with the tow hook here at the bottom, and then we got the spare 37 as well, which again just looks so sweet. And then we've got the exhaust tips, which now I can confirm every single 392 has like slightly crooked exhaust. When I say crooked, I mean like look how that side is slightly higher than that side, just like mine. And putting it all together, good job on you, James, because this thing just looks so cool. I'm honestly jealous of the purple. I wish I waited. Now with the door panel in the back, you guys can see we've got the bronze stitching here, and then look at the padding, and then we've got a little bitty door handle right there. And then down below we do have some more storage space. Being a 392, again, you got the bronze stitching you can see all throughout here, and then look at the leather trim on the seats as well. And then we got like the window controls here in the center, the vents in the center, and then you can see with the little outlet down below on top of that. Now with the front door panel, again, bronze stitching here, and then look at the netting down below. We've got our mirror adjustment right here, blind spot monitoring in the mirror, and it's a Wrangler door panel. With the front seat, again, look at the bronze stitching, Rubicon 392 right there, and then you can see all the leather trim down below. And we have all of our seat adjustments right here. Light controls just on the side, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. So here's the steering wheel in the 392, really nice leather trim all around. Notice it's like perforated here on the sides and get a slightly better grip. There are radio controls on the back, which I really like, actually, again, being a 392 under. This does have adaptive cruise control as well as regular cruise control. Paddle shifters here on the back for that 8-speed automatic. And then you got your turn signal stock and then your windshield wiper stock. Now with the gauge cluster, you guys can see you've got analog gauges on either side and you have the screen here in the center. Now, James literally just swapped over the tires, so it looks like he hasn't swapped the sensors over yet. But regardless, you got this little digital screen here, which you can scroll through different bits of info. Like you can see that we are, I guess, tilted to the side slightly and tilted forward slightly, which you can't even tell because solid axle life. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera here, and then you guys can see the front facing camera. And so notice the bar and the lights do get in the way of the front facing camera. So that is a downside about that particular modification. Now with the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time's great. It has heated seats, heated steering wheel, you got navigation, you know, all the normal Jeep stuff, and of course you got the off-road pages too. Now down below we have our analog controls here for the radio, the climate, the heated seats, heated steering wheel, all of that stuff. We have our off-road cruise control built in. This is for the performance exhaust to open or close the valves, your stability control. And then down below you got all your window controls, and then you can see little charging ports on either side too. Now we have 4 auxiliary switches, so you can add auxiliary items like those lights on the front to it and then just plug it into the switch. And then you guys can see the off-road plus with the sway bar disconnect. Front and rear lockers right here in this whole setup, and that's just to unlock them, if that makes sense. Shifter for the 8-speed automatic transmission, and then this is our drive line select. So you notice it's in 4-wheel auto all the time. You've got 4-wheel high, part-time neutral, and then 4-wheel low as well. We've got our parking brake right here, couple cup holders, and then you guys can see the center console setup, just normal Jeep center console. Same thing with the glove box, got the grab handle. One thing that's cool about the 392 is you have gray trim here on the dash instead of having like red in a regular Rubicon, and then again, bronze stitching there at the top. Now up top, we got these little latches right here to remove this portion of the top. Notice that we do have the insulation with this particular Wrangler. It also extends into the back. And then the back portion, you do have to use tools to take it off. So here's a window sticker for this Wrangler 392, and you guys can see the official fuel economy right there. Like I said, you can actually get on the higher side on average. Like I usually average 15, 16 miles per gallon. Anyways, funny story. So when my Wrangler 392 was originally ordered, it's a total MSRP, which my Wrangler has the same options as this, was $82,000. After it was fully built, Jeep raised the MSRP to $86,000. And so like there was already a big price swing there, but it doesn't compare to this. $91,000 with the Xtreme Recon package. So again, this has the same options as mine. This originally stickered for 82, that jumped up to 86, and this is now 91. So big price increases for these 392s. Let's see if it's worth it. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring, then throughout the rest of the rear. And we're just gonna set right off here, and we're almost out of gas. So I've got to use a small amount of gas so that James can make it to the gas station after work today. I don't want to leave him stranded. Also, who would drive a Mustang in the middle of the winter? Whoever would do that is just brainless fool. Brainless fool. I can't believe it. But you know, initially setting off here, again, I own a 392 with the Xtreme Recon. Mine obviously still has 35s on it. And I can tell you that you can feel a difference between the 35s and the 37s right off the bat. Now this pushes the 37s just as well. 37s are bigger than 35s, but not big enough, especially for how much power this has to really make a perceivable difference, at least on the low end. But like, I just feel taller. Again, this isn't lifted at all. This is stock suspension, stock shocks, everything, just bigger tires. But yeah, you can definitely perceive a height difference. So it doesn't always look, it doesn't just look different, it actually, you know, feels different. Let's see, kind of getting up and moving. Yeah, it doesn't feel any slower, honestly. There's no downside. These particular tires are a little bit louder than the stock ones, but it's just the tread pattern. It's not the size of tire that does that. But I will say is these are a lot smoother. Like this feels more luxury-like than the stock 392 just because the tire size. So that is a good thing for me to note. Yeah, this feels smoother. I mean, that's what happens, right? Bigger tires, more sidewall means that it's going to be a little bit better. Let's turn off the performance exhaust. It's a little bit quieter. What I will say is I just put an aftermarket exhaust on mine from AWE, and whenever you put an aftermarket exhaust on a vehicle, sometimes it's kind of like somewhat hard to tell if there's a difference. I could tell with the Wrangler, but now driving this again, I can really tell. Like mine is so much louder with that aftermarket exhaust. It's pretty crazy. So summing things up, I love this new color. Again, I think it's called Rain. I showed you guys a window sticker earlier. I'm having a day today, guys. I think I'm running on like 15% brain today. But I love this color. I love how this drives with 37s. It looks amazing. And yeah, I just don't think you can really go wrong with how this is set up. So yeah, I guess I should finish with, is the 392 still worth it despite the price increase? And I'd have to say there's not a lot else on the market you can buy that's this cool looking, has an engine that's as special as this, is as capable off-road. Like this does everything. Again, James traded in his Supra for this, and you know, him and I had a conversation about this, and I kind of convinced him to go for the Wrangler, and he said he's glad that he did. But like, the thing about this is you can have sports car fun in this because it's still pretty lightweight, and you know, although it doesn't handle on rails like something like a Supra would, it's fun. Like you go around corners and it does some body roll stuff. It's kind of like a Miata. That's kind of what the Jeep does. The Jeep Wrangler is like the Miata of SUVs, and so you can still have a ton of fun driving this on a daily basis. And it's got a crazy monstrous engine. It's super capable off-road. Like it just does everything. And so it's such a great all-around vehicle. So it's expensive, but I will say there are some deals out there on these. So you know, just do some looking, and I wouldn't pass this up because of the price increases, because everything's increased in price, and this frankly still holds its own. So that's gonna sum things up for a video on this 392. Again, a big shout out and thank you to James for letting me review his Wrangler. I really appreciate it, and congrats on the new Wrangler. He picked a beautiful color that, again, I'm jealous of. I wish I had this color. I'll see you guys.